gonna wait for everybody. Hi, Jackie.
How's it going?
Good, how are you? Oh, I gotta turn my volume up.
I can hear you.
How are you?
I'm good.
Where do I make my screen bigger? I know it's easy.
Let's see. Is it under slideshow?
Yes.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. It's weird that I can't see my own video. Can you see me?
I can see you. Can you can see me?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Maybe if I push, I've never been on the opposite end of the Zoom and never on my phone. It's great.
Your hair's getting long again. Oh, there you go.
Oh wow, now I can see it.
Oh, okay.
Just got out of the shower. I'm all rosy face.
I've got I forgot that we're recording and I'm going to share this. So I'm not going to talk about what's going on with my chin at the moment. Okay, but I'm going to dive in because it's 7. I want to take 20 minutes, and as others join, fantastic. And then I want to just leave the last 10 minutes open for questions and input and your tips and tricks and other people's tips and tricks. Okay, so I'm Melissa Johnson. This is Summer Essentials, Oily Tips, Tricks, and Recipes. My fear with doing live things like this is always that I'm boring and I'm sharing too much information, so that is not my goal tonight. So keep me on my toes, Jackie. Okay, so I'm just gonna get started now that, okay, so my summer essentials list. The top 10 oils there, the top 7 are all singles, and then the last 3 are blends. Lavenders are Swiss Army knife. Melaleuca is good for any kind of like skin irritations as well. Any funky toe things going on. Lemon's good just for daily detoxification. Peppermint is my favorite cooling. Frankincense, well, because you just need frankincense every day, in my opinion. Myrrh is another amazing natural SPF, as well as amazing for the skin. Rum and chamomile, everything soothing. You can think of this one. Digestin and Zengest, well, that's just straight up barbecues, overindulging, hot food, heartburn. Oh, I'm not supposed to say that. Indigestion, the burning of the esophagus. Terror Shield, naturally, it's our natural bug repellent, and On Guard because we always need to be supporting and protecting our immune systems. The Lifelong Vitality Pack that just fills in all of our nutritional gaps, and the A to Z's is basically the same thing for the kids. The IQ Mega is an additional that we've already got in the Lifelong Vitality Pack, and then now there's the PB Assist Juniors. So those probiotics are super good too. Keep our digestive systems flowing properly, and our immune systems ready for anything that comes towards us. Deep Blue, if you haven't tried Deep Blue and you haven't got it on your LRP order, then you must do this. You must get this rub. You can use the oil, but for some reason, I've got it in my brain that Deep Blue rub is the best. So I think anything achy, before working out, after working out. It's really good for if you get a line drive to the knee or a muscly area. It's really good for the after damages of that. The Raj skincare, because the sun is shining and we need to protect our skin. Nobody's getting younger, but we can look as young as we can. The Salon Essentials hair care, I really appreciate this hair care system because it's got the UV protection and the color protection, and then it doesn't have a lot of garbage and junk in it. So I just find it really, really great. And DDR Prime, well, because DDR Prime is a cellular complex, it's full of antioxidants and amazing things that like make our skin really vibrant and healthy, and working at the highest vibe in our body. Hi, Chris. How are you? So DDR Prime and frankincense, well, you just need it. We'll do another on that at another time.
No.
Sorry, I'm just maybe it's a good idea to pause. Okay. I guess yes, if you pause yourself, that would work. Right, it's been a while since I used Zoom. Forgive me. Okay, so my next summer must-have list is basically all of the tools you'll see. Is it on your left-hand side or your right-hand side? I don't know what side you're seeing it on, but when I'm looking at it, it's on my left-hand side.
Left-hand side on ours too.
Yours too? Okay, good.
Yep.
So you got the travel case. You've got your 8 vials. They're 5/8 drams. These can fit like what, between 20 and 30 drops, or 30, or right around 30. Am I right? 30? So this is really handy. It's just a travel case. You hook it to your keys. You hook it to a diaper bag, a swim bag, the beach bag, the ball bag. Camping, you need it in your camping supplies. So you can collect all of your 8 must-haves. Some of them could probably be from the previous screen. We're going to cover our glass bottles is something that you are definitely in need of for if you want to make an after sun spray that we're going to cover, or the after race spray. And then there's also a liquid sunscreen recipe that I'm going to share. The roller bottles, I don't know about you guys, but I'm in love with the roller bottles, and then these gemstone rollers. I don't know if you can see them, but they are amazing. The application.
So where did you get those ones from?
I got this from EOS Life.
Okay.
Yeah, and I have to find my for what this gemstone is, but all of them were like positivity and communication and success. So I chose a few. I chose a green one, this dark one with sparkles in it, and then there's also, sorry, I think this one's like copper stone, or I don't know. I'm sorry, it's been a while since I looked at it, but that's my Intune right there. Okay, so the rollers, I do feel like plastic rollers are like days gone by, but maybe it's just because I've become a roller bottle snob. I'm not sure, but the plastic ones will do you just perfectly fine, but I really prefer a stainless steel or a gemstone. The cap labels are always super handy, so that when you're making up your jars of sunscreen, that you can put your labels, some stickers of like myrrh, lavender, heliochrysum on there. And then the capsules, because sometimes it's not nice just to take oregano down the hatch, just out of the bottle. So sometimes I think the capsules are helpful. Okay, so my little Zoom bar is in the way, so I gotta move it. I don't know if you guys can see it. The little mason jars, like I mentioned, they're super handy after you double boil your recipes. And then stainless steel or glass straws, because if you're drinking essential oils, staying hydrated in your water, plastic straws just aren't going to do, and sometimes people don't like the feeling of the essential oil residue that may be left on their lips. So tonight I want to cover a race screen. We're going to do a liquid and a solid form. We've got an after race spray, my bugz-b-gone favorite spray repellent blend. I'm going to be sharing my favorite fruit and veggie wash, how I deal with gluttony and barbecue overload relief, because let's face it, we're all socializing and barbecuing, and or at least if, yeah, baseball games and fundraisers, and there's all sorts of things going on, potlucks these days. So that leads me into keeping your hands sanitized naturally, minus the alcohol and any other harmful chemicals or things that are irritating to the skin. And the 7th is seasonal allergies. It's inevitable. It's one of the things that people ask me the most about. We're going to cover some of the ways that you can naturally help support yourself through the seasonal allergies. All right, so I'm going backwards. Okay, so just to dive in, here's my easy race screen spray. 1 cup of aloe vera juice, 1 cup of avocado oil or any other nut or seed oils. A lot of them do have natural SPFs. I like to do 10 to 15 drops of lavender, 10 to 15 drops of myrrh. I do probably 5 more drops. Whoop, again, I'm doing it again. It's because my Zoom bar is in the way. Okay, I gotta move it. Here we go. Maybe that'll work. I like to add, say, 5 drops of the heliochrysum as well, because it's got some natural SPF properties in it. So I literally add this to my spray bottle. I top it with water and I shake it before each use. This is something that's not going to have a super long shelf life. But to be honest with you, I probably make sunscreen when we're using it like every few weeks, especially the spray. The solid spray screen that we're going to go over lasts me a lot longer. It lasts me for an entire 3 to 4 month season of the sun. Okay, where are we going? So here's the easy race screen lotion. I keep it simple. You can add other carrier oils to this. I don't think that it's an exact science, and I'm going to explain why in just a moment as with regards to your carrier oils. Some people disagree with me, but I've always had really great success with just kind of winging it, but knowing what I'm supposed to be including with regards to the zinc oxide and then the essential oil. And we're going to cover that in just a moment. So with this, make an SPF of 20, this is the recipe you'll want to use. So this is a 1/2 cup of coconut oil. It's a 1/4 cup of a liquid nut or seed oil, 2 tablespoons of the zinc oxide, 10 drops of lavender, 10 drops of myrrh, and I like to put in the heliochrysum as well. So I literally put this in a bowl, in a glass bowl, and I mix it up. I make sure that I'm safe with my zinc oxide. I make sure that I'm wearing safety protection and that I'm wearing a mask that you can get from, you can just ask your pharmacy, or you can, you can basically find them at the pharmacy, or you can use one of those ones that your husbands have kicking around. And so here's the load.
Question about your zinc oxide for a minute.
Yeah.
I went to go find some in our drugstore, and they just had the tubes, and it had like in place for baby bum cream. So it was zinc oxide, and it had something else included with it. Are you using a powder, or is it a tube as well?
Yeah, I'm using a powder. Let me see if I can grab it. So I've asked, like when I go to the pharmacy, I literally ask them, like it's not just something that you can get. Where are you? Okay, I don't know where it is exactly at this moment.
Okay, no worries.
But you just have to ask the pharmacist, like ask behind the counter, because it's something that they keep behind the counter.
Okay, and it's the zinc oxide just by itself. There's no other additives whatsoever?
Yeah, it's just the straight up powder.
Okay, cool.
I know that like my mom got it, and they either have it on hand or she ordered it, but I'm pretty sure that they would order it for you.
Awesome, thank you.
If Voyager Candle and Soap even had zinc oxide.
Oh, there's an idea. Is that, or sorry, what was the one that you got your crystal roller bottles from again? Now that I have my paper.
Yeah, it's EOS Life. EOS Life. They're on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
They've got a website and all that stuff too. They're one of my favorites, absolute favorites. I love all their t-shirts. I love all their stuff. Okay, so non-nano, uncoated, and I'm going to talk even more about this in a moment, but okay, so non-nano uncoated UPS -2 zinc oxide, which has a mean particle size of 0.33 or 330 nanos. So it does not penetrate the pores. It's basically what I understand that to be saying. So a little bit more on zinc oxide before I cover the other SPF stuff is that zinc oxide itself, so this is according to Dr. Axe, this is where I'm citing some of his stuff, can be found in nature. It's naturally occurring. And then they turned it basically into a powder. So recent breakthroughs in zinc oxide particle size has led to a major increase, which just means that they've changed it from its raw form into a larger particle. Where was I? Basically, I'm sorry guys, I had my notes all good and now I don't. So zinc oxide.
Sorry, that was me bugging you, asking you different questions.
It's all good. It's all good. Okay, so basically zinc oxide has been found to provide the following benefits. It helps to lower skin inflammation associated with rashes, allergies, or irritations. And so you can think baby bums in wet, soiled diapers. So that's what we commonly know it as, I'm sure. Providing a broad spectrum sun protection that prevents burns, including photosensitivity. It helps to keep moisture locked into dry skin. It reduces dandruff. It helps to treat warts, lowers inflammatory dermatosis, including rosacea, blah, blah, blah. It goes on and on. Preventing aging of the skin, that's an important one. And improving the synthesis of collagen and forming of new connective tissues. So that's really good. So zinc oxide can be combined with carrier agents. It's not water soluble to be more effective. It's commonly added to topical solutions like makeup, especially skin foundations, mineral sunscreens, salves, balms, moisturizers, and some lotions or creams contain zinc oxide so that oily substances seep into the skin. Zinc forms barrier over them. It keeps the moisture locked in. So then, so when it comes to the skin protecting, it protects the skin from sunburns and damage. It helps to, it offers a broad spectrum ultraviolet ray, that's the UVAs and the UVBs, which is not always the case with chemical sunscreens that only block one type of UV light. So that's a bonus, that's something to know. And there was something else in here that I wanted to share. There was a spot in here that I read that said that over 75% of the sunscreens on the market do contain hidden chemicals in them. So that was something that I wanted to touch upon. So with all of that, like basically 1 drop of the myrrh and the lavender essential oil equals 1 SPF. So when you're putting in 10 to 15 drops of the essential oil, that's giving you the 10 SPF. 1 tablespoon of the zinc is approximately 10 SPF. So that would be 1 labeled tablespoon into whatever recipe you're using. And 1 tablespoon of other natural SPF carriers. So you've probably seen this graphic on the right, how raspberry seed oil, coconut oil, carrot seed oil, shea butter, almond oil, and then the zinc oxide. So from what I understand, the high spectrum of these is that it would be 1 tablespoon. So 1 tablespoon of raspberry seed oil. I mean, I'm not
what volume is this in? Because it has to be related to volume. Otherwise, like, 1 tablespoon of zinc in a gallon wouldn't be the same as 1 tablespoon of zinc in a, in a pint.
Well, that solid race screen that I first went over with the 20 SPF.
Yeah, it's like a half pint.
Yeah. Yeah, so it'd be basically like half of this.
Yeah. Oh, so like a quarter pint.
Yeah. Yeah. So whenever I fill it, it's usually to about there.
How much zinc oxide are you putting in your own?
I put 2 tablespoons in my own.
And do you notice like the color of the cream being white on your skin?
Not really once it's really nicely mixed. So I like when the coconut oil, like I melt the coconut oil so that's not in a solid form. So I melt the coconut oil and then I mix in the zinc oxide. And it's at a really, really, really low temperature that I melt it. And so it's still just slightly warm when I add the about 30 drops of the essential oil. Because I aim for about 12 and then a few more squeak out. And I always just kind of go over 1 or 2 just for protective measure. I don't know. There's always like an oil drops that squeak out, right? Okay, so I used almond oil.
They just want more oils. And then I'm like, it's fine. I wanted to share a story because a friend of mine was on set the other day, that super hot day, and they were out in Steveston.
Yeah.
And she burnt, like, the whole front of her legs, got chemical burns on them from her sunscreen. And she was like first aid had to attend to her. She was sick for like 2 days. She couldn't work. She was nauseous. Like, the burns were literally on her legs, like from the top of her thigh all the way down to her ankles.
Wow.
Yeah, and like you see more and more of it on the internet, right? But then this happened just the other day, and I was like, that's nuts. Like, that's the reason why I won't put this crap on my body at all.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I really try to not use sunscreen at all, but there are times when it's inevitable that I know that I'm going to be in the blazing sun, like direct sunlight for 3 hours or 2 hours, or like most. I'm not that silly. I don't lay out in the sun like I used to.
Baseball.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If like we're out there and it's a tournament weekend, then I'm making sure that I'm slathering it on. So my favorite after race spray is this 1/4 cup fractionated coconut oil, the 1 cup of aloe vera juice. I like the vitamin E. It's a really nice emollient and it's really nice for the skin. It's also a preservative. So this one, it could have a little bit longer of a shelf life, but to be honest with you, even when it's hot out, I just spray peppermint on my face because it helps to cool me down. So, so I like the peppermint, the Roman chamomile. You can totally switch up. Excuse me, whatever you want, but I think that peppermint is the main one and should always be kind of the front one, the one shining. The shining in the after the race spray. My kids even like it, but if your kids don't, then you would probably want to take some of those peppermint drops out and lessen it. Okay, so bugz-b-gone. My absolute works like a hot dang every single time is 10 drops of the Terra Shield, 10 drops of lemongrass, 10 drops of eucalyptus, and literally probably a squirt of witch hazel, and then I top it with water. That, for us, was it last June? Yes, we went to a family reunion in Saskatchewan, and we were literally camping in this field that my uncle had done in preparation for us, and everybody camping around us was finding ticks on them, and we literally were not. Like, not one. I didn't see one crawling. on clothing. There was none when we were doing lice check, or not lice checks, tick checks. Like there was, like, it was crazy. And everybody was like, Melissa, I need some of your spray. And I'm like, okay, like, absolutely, but you got to keep using it. So I think that in like a 2 or 3 day period, I had to like fill it up 3 or 4 times for a 4-ounce bottle. So I was happy to share, of course, because nobody needs the crap that ticks bring. But here's some other options that are really nice repellent blend or repellent oils. The Arbovitae smells amazing. It's my husband's favorite. Cedarwood, it's kind of a tame version of what Arbovitae has to offer. Basil, patchouli, and then Purify. The Purify is good because it's got the citruses and citronella. While Purify is great for some people, what I somehow came across has worked amazing for us. And sometimes I put Arbovitae in our blends just because Corey likes it so much, and he's always like, hey, you should put some of that Arbovitae stuff in there. I'm like, okay, just for you, I will. So yeah, I do 10 to 15 drops of each, the witch hazel top with water. I always give it a little zhuzh shake before I either back and forth or whatever. Or if the kids have had it, it's already shaken. So that's what I use for bugs, and it's worked amazing for us. Fruit and veggie wash. I do 1 to 3. I always aim for 1, but 2 or 3 always pop out, especially if I'm using the lemon, which is what I use, or wild orange. It depends. It just depends, I guess. But so you can do that and fill up the sink, or you can do like a mist, where you just kind of spray it on and rinse it off in a colander. Your call. I don't think that there's ever an exact science. I just really encourage people to have their oils on their counter and just to not be afraid. Literally, there's nothing that can go wrong. Well, okay, not literally nothing, but very close to that. Experience and using the oils is the best way that you're going to learn for what works for you. And sometimes you'll be like, wow, I'm never going to do that again. Yeah. Like peppermint in the eye. Okay, so the barbecue overload relief. This is part of the gluttony. Any of the Digestin line, I highly, highly encourage people to have on hand with them. I have like this little plastic case that's got these little sections in it, and I've got it labeled where I've got my Terrazyme, I've got my soft gels, I've got my chewable tablets, I've got the, what else do I have? I've got my, did I say Terrazyme? There's like a 3 or 4 of them that I have in there. And then my lifelong vitality pack and all that stuff. But Terrazyme is an absolute must-have. Get a load of this burger bar. I don't know. It looks pretty crazy. Pretty delicious. So using any of these preventatively, you're not gonna regret. You're gonna be thankful that you thought of it. So the next thing, backyard barbecues. And then the sangria comes out, and then somebody decides that they should make a shaft shooter, and then they're like, oh, lemon drops, and then the next morning you're like, whoa, that was just maybe a little too much, but we had fun. So I like to do a drop of lemon, peppermint, 2 drops of ginger. I muddle it in some honey in my mug, and then before I've done this, I typically boil my kettle full way and then kind of let it sit for like a half an hour or so, or I turn it off before it's done boiling, and I just make sure that it's nice and warm, and then I sip it when it's nice and warm. So the hand sanitizer. So literally I say that a lot, right? I wonder why my 4-year-old says it all the time. I use aloe vera gel. Half and half with water, and then your choice of, and I like this in a spray bottle, and I would add less water if you're going to want to use it in a squeeze bottle that's pictured here in the picture. You can add a little vitamin E too. Again, I don't feel like it's an exact science. I don't want this to be difficult for people. It's just super easy. You might be like, yeah, right, Melissa, but it really is. It's kind of like just eat that frog. Just make your own hand sanitizer just once and see how easy it is, how cost effective it is, and you'll probably never be able to go back. I was never able to go back. Okay, so here's seasonal support. Lemon, lavender, and peppermint straight up are the absolute best things that you can have. So you can put those in an empty capsule, 2 drops of each, or you can cut out the muss and the fuss and just purchase doTERRA's Tri-Ease. It's exactly the same thing. Lemon, lavender, and peppermint, although I think maybe they do 3 drops of each. It's 2 to 3 drops of each in the Tri-Ease. Tri-Ease in your purse, on your desk, at the office, in the boat, like wherever you are finding that you're having issues with the stuff that's floating around in the air, then you just pop a couple of those. The other thing, the lemon, lavender, and peppermint, you can put that in a spray, little witch hazel in a spray bottle, and then you can spray it on your face, on your chest, or you can put a drop of each of those, and you can kind of just get it on you. Roll on your nose, and then you're good. And breathe is the respiratory support. So if you're feeling like things are getting tight in your chest, like they do when you're having seasonal allergies, then I highly encourage diffusing breathe, but the lemon, lavender, and peppermint is also really nice if your neighbor is cutting his lawn in the diffuser. So let me see what else I got here. So literally, there's that word again. Gotta drop it. So this is what I have on hand, and I'm sure that most people have this stuff on hand too, and if not, you still got to go get maybe vitamin E oil or purchase some aloe vera juice. But literally everything that I talked about today, I use these on hand products. So just so you know, the conversation doesn't have to stop here with regards to all of the things that we covered. There's never any silly questions. We love to hear your testimonies. We love to hear your epic wins and your utter fails, because that's just a part of life. So thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to open it up for questions, and I'll do my best to answer, but I'm sure that the other gals that are on the call know their stuff too and could probably help. All right. Anybody have any questions? You'll just have to unmute yourself, and then we'll be able to hear you. Did you guys do haircuts today?
Yes.
You look so fresh with your haircut.
All 3 of them are bald now.
It's the beginning of the summer. Mine are due for a cut too. All right, ladies, I'm gonna go. Does anybody want to add anything? Experts too. Is there anything that you guys want to say?
No, thank you for putting this on. I'm sure there will be a lot of views afterwards.
Yes, hopefully. Yes, I would like that. That's the purpose, is to just share. Jackie, do you have anything you want to add?
No, it was great. Thanks, Melissa.
It was really good to see you, babe. I'm loving your long hair. It looks good. All right, girls, let's talk soon. Let's connect. I want to hear what's going on with you two.
Sounds good.
Okay. Leah, I am so sorry. Leah's here, but she's just got her name, and so I keep. Okay, girls, let's talk soon. Love ya.
Alrighty, take care. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye. Take care.